Welcome to the Trill MBA Show. I'm your host, Felicia Ann Rose Anuha, aka the Trillest MBA you will ever know. And I'm here to help you survive and thrive in corporate America by giving you the truth and being as real as only I can be. Happy Sunday. So this is the second week in December. I hope you guys are getting ready to wind it on down for Christmas. I'm getting excited because I am going to rest and rejuvenate and revitalize my little spirit. I'm going to work on season 4 of the podcast. So I'm excited about that. We got some new things coming in season 4. Yay! Okay, now listen. I know for all the great reasons that you want to further your education, make more money, do great things in the world with your career, that some of you out there decided to get an MBA from a part-time program. Now, if you've been listening to the show, you know that I have a deep, deep bias against part-time programs for full-time programs. And I have always hated these part-time MBA programs. But it wasn't until having some very key conversations with some of you guys in the past couple of weeks that I could finally articulate why I hate part-time MBA programs. For the life of me, it just drives me nuts because at the crux of my angst for part-time MBA programs is the fact that they don't set you up for the success that you are expecting. And that's why I hate part-time MBA programs. You're trying to switch your career. You can't. You want to make more money. You can't. And I started to say, but why? You do the work. You get the pay. You get the job, right? It should be that simple. Well, you guys, it's not. So I started digging in to really understand why is it that part-time MBA programs are not paying off like they should, like the full-time MBA programs. And so I want to present to the court Exhibit A, the U.S. News and World Report ranking methodology. So if you go online, U.S. News and World Report, they do a lot of different school rankings, right? Graduate schools, undergraduate schools, business schools. They even do full-time programs and part-time programs. And as I was doing research for this episode, I was like, there's some things that I know, but what are the proof points? And this is the main one. So, Exhibit 1A. The methodology for 2020 Best Business Schools ranking. So these are full-time programs. This is the methodology. First, there's a quality assessment. Into that goes a peer assessment score, a recruiter assessment score. So U.S. News, they ask corporate recruiters and company contact about MBA program. Okay. Take note of that. Placement success. So it says here, the U.S. News MBA Statistical Survey section on employment statistics uses the MBA CSEA standards for reporting employment statistics as the basis for defining how MBA programs should report full-time MBA employment statistics and other career information, including starting base salaries, signing bonuses, and what proportion of MBA graduates have jobs at graduation and 3 months after. Mean salary and signing bonus. Employment rates for full-time MBA program graduates. Okay, so this is the criteria for how we rank business schools, at least the full-time program. Now, the cool thing is we can mosey on over to another page on this website and find out how U.S. News ranks part-time MBA programs. And even here it says part-time business programs play a vital role for working people who can't go to school full-time for family or financial reasons. So that's the angst I have, right? Because that's the positioning that part-time programs use. Like, hey, we know you can't afford or take the time to go to a full-time program. So here are these part-time programs, and we will take your good money, and you too can have an MBA. All right. So here's the methodology. 1, average peer assessment score. Okay, so that sounds similar to the full-time methodology. The second thing, average GMAT score and average GRE quantitative, verbal, and analytical writing scores of part-time MBA students entering in the fall 2018. So this wasn't in the full-time. They didn't say anything about GMAT or GRE scores. Yeah. Number 3, average undergraduate GPA of part-time MBA students entering in the fall 2018. Interesting. Because they didn't say nothing about GPA in the other methodology for the full-time. Number of years of work experience of part-time MBA students entering in the fall of 2018, with more experience scoring higher in the rankings. That wasn't there either the last time. And number 5, the percentage of business schools fall 2018 total full-time and part-time MBA enrollment that is in the part-time MBA program, with a higher percentage that is part-time scoring higher in the rankings. So in other words, if your program has more part-time students or a higher percentage of part-time students, then you get a higher ranking. Yeah, and then that's it. So it didn't say nothing about recruiters or if you have a new job, if you wanted to career switch and you got, like, how many of the career switchers get new jobs? No, it didn't say that. Why? Because this shit is not built for people who are going to get their MBA to make more money. Like, I really wish that they would start positioning these part-time programs for what and who they are. It is driving me insane. Just makes me mad. Because you guys are going out there spending great money to get your MBA in these part-time programs, and you still making the same salary that you're making before you started the program. So what was it for, Cletus? Why? So today, I'm going to talk about the 3 things you must do if you are in a part-time MBA program situationship. So for all those people who are currently in a part-time MBA program, thinking about a part-time MBA program, or you've already got an MBA from a part-time MBA program, and you're making less than the 6 figures that you thought you was going to be making when you got done with your MBA. This is the show for you, sis. All right. So the first thing you must do if you're going to be in a part-time MBA program, before you even start your program, you need to understand the career services available to you, even though you're in the part-time program. So you need to utilize the career services of the full-time program that is the sister program of the part-time program you're going to. And here's the thing, you guys. Career services are the key to gaining access to opportunities with the companies that recruit from the school. Now, mind you, the recruiters are looking for full-time program people, right? But there's no reason for career services to exclude you in recruiting events happening on campus. But guess what they're not going to do? They're not going to throw it all in your face and come to you and say, hey, you looking for a new job? You wanted to get your MBA because you wanted to stop doing what you're doing now and do something different. But you didn't want to leave your job and go get your MBA full time like you should have. So here is your job opportunities. Yeah, no, that doesn't happen, right? So the thing I realized is the component that is missing from part-time programs is the emphasis on getting a job. And the reason that is because part-time programs are built as check-the-box programs. They are for people who are not leaving their company. They're in a certain career path. They're very sure and certain about it. They just need to expand their skill set. They're not looking as getting the MBA for an opportunity to open more doors outside of the company that they're at. Now, understand, they may think, down the line or what have you, but really and truly, those programs are for executives and junior executives and organizations who need an MBA and the skill set to continue to climb the ranks at the company they're at. Now, my angst with these part-time programs is that they don't tell you this. They just happily take your money. Just makes me angry. The other key that you need to understand about career services is you need to understand the recruiting cycle for the full-time program. Now, when we get back from the break, I'm going to go into what that recruiting cycle is, as well as talk about the other two things you must do in order to get your six-figure salary out of a part-time MBA program. I'll continue after this short break. Hey, you guys. So I am working on some ideas for new content for season 4 and possibly some new formatting of the show. So with that said, I want to know if you guys want me to share listener letters on the air. And if you do, and you have certain situations and you feel like, hey, I want everybody to know that this stuff happens because it happened to me, then hit me up at ask@trilmba.com and tell me your story. Tell me what you want me to share. Tell me if I can get into a little bit of the nitty-gritty. I'm not going to share company details unless it's all out there and you're a guest on the show. So we're not here to blast companies. What we are here to do with the listener letters is take your situation and help the next sister trying to make it through the same thing. So if you want to be of help, hit me up, ask@trilmba.com. Share your story with me. I will definitely be cognizant of we all need our checks. And hopefully we can all have some good learnings, right? Because everybody's experience is a little different, but there's so many things that are so similar that we really need to start telling our stories. So hit me up and let's get back to the show. All right, as I promised, here's the deal that you need to understand. Full-time MBA recruiting cycle goes like this. In the fall, companies are looking for two types of people. One, they're looking to network with the first years. They're not quite ready to talk to them about internships, but they are looking to start to meet them and grow relationships, right? That's what recruiters are doing. And then two, in the fall, recruiters are looking to make full-time offers to second-year MBAs. So these are MBAs who finished the first year, went off somewhere, had an internship with some company, came back to campus to start their second year, and they are now looking for what opportunity they want to end up in when they graduate. And that starts the first semester of the second year for the second year MBA students, right? And by the end of second year, so by December, the vast majority of MBA students, as long as the economy's good, let me caveat that, the vast majority of them know where they're going full time after they graduate the upcoming May. Okay. So that's recruiting in the fall. In the spring, early spring, right after the holidays, the companies come back and they start recruiting for internship candidates. So these are first years who are now in their second semester of their MBA program, and they are looking for work for the summer. And internships are absolutely necessary when you're career switching, right? So if I was in retail as an analyst, for example, which I actually was, and I wanted to shift into brand marketing, then I am someone looking for a brand marketing internship, an internship with a company who has the function of marketing and has brands, and they are willing to give me an internship as a brand manager for the summer, or actually it would be associate brand manager for the summer. So I could come from just about any industry, any type of job, and I go through this full-time process and I can career switch because this internship gives me tangible experience to go back the next fall as a second year and start networking and talking with companies about my summer experience, what I learned, what I'm good at, how I can add value to their organizations, blase, blase, and interview for full-time jobs, right? So when you're in a part-time program, you're not in this cycle. You don't do this. And so if you think a part-time program is going to allow you to career switch and you ain't even had no internship, girl, bye. That ain't how this works. That's not the game. So what you can do, right, is think about how you can tap into the resources that career services is bringing to campus for the full-time people. And understanding the recruiting cycle lets you know when companies are going to be on your campus. Pay attention, basically. Okay, now the second thing you have to do after visiting career services, and this is especially true if you've already graduated, because I've talked to a couple of you in the past 3 weeks that you graduated from part-time programs, and then you send me your resume, and I'm like, oh, child, no. This is how I know that you did not do a full-time MBA program, because your resume is not in the format. Yes, you got to understand, you guys, your resume signals a certain level of pedigree, right? Now, I'm not saying you have to go to the, top MBA program full time to get this. No, there's just a way and a standard that happens with these programs, and they've all adopted it. Recruiters are used to it. And so when you present outside of this game, this world, this MBA thing that they have going on, then it signals that, oh, you're not in. So here you are with this resume that wasn't vetted through your MBA programs, career services, because you didn't even know about career services because your part-time MBA program people didn't talk to you about career services because you already got a job. And clearly you want to keep that job. You're in this program. Right. Because you know you didn't want to keep that job and that's why you getting your MBA. Child. Whew. Okay. Sorry. Calm down, Felicia. Now, what you need to do is get your resume in the correct format. There are several different signals. Let me break them down to you. Number one, let's say you're still an MBA student or you've graduated, but you're still within 1 year of your graduation date. Okay? So you new to this. You will see these resumes and here's how they will be structured. They will have name and contact information. They will have education at the top. And then they will go through experience. And for full-time people who had internships, the first experience is your internship and all the things you accomplished, supposedly, in your 10 to 12 weeks at this company that you're now probably not going to go back and work for. So if your resume isn't formatted in that way, if you fall into that type of person, current student or newly minted MBA, once you have a year of experience and you can update your resume with the experience from your new job and your new role, you bring your education down to the bottom. That's the signal. So I know I'm dealing with an experienced hire when I see their education at the bottom. And I know I'm dealing with a new minted MBA or an MBA student when I see experience at the top. I didn't know that, did you? Right. Because they don't tell you that in part-time programs. Oh, but these are the signals, you guys. So I want you to go look at MBA full-time program resume formats. And then I also want you to pay attention to the bullets. So the other signal is bullet points that talk about how you made the company money, bullet points that talk about how you saved the company money, bullet points that talk about achievements and results. And they have numbers in them. Before I started my MBA program, my bullet points were like, manage such and such process. Man, don't let me pull out one of my old resumes. Sometimes it just hurts my heart to look at it because you don't know what you don't know. And I never knew. The other thing is, if you look at undergraduate business programs, their resumes are in the same format as the full-time programs. It's a signal, you guys. It's a signal of pedigree, the way your resume is formatted. So the takeaway for you is either hire somebody to redo your resume or get these career services people to help you with your resume. And they should do that for free. All the money you done paid them to get your part-time MBA. All right. After the break, we'll come back and I'll talk about the very last thing that you really need to consider if you're a career switcher and you're getting your part-time MBA. I'll talk about that when we get back from the break. So it's currently 11:35 p.m. and I am working on this podcast. And sometimes, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, life. But then I go to the reviews and I see reviews like this one. Love this podcast by HR Bay. So see, y'all HR people, y'all be listening. HR Bay says, this podcast has changed my life and my perspective and my career. I thought I was the only person that was going through crazy stuff in corporate America. I've learned how to take my career back and not throw in the towel. Thanks, Trill MBA. Much love and respect to you. And so at 11:36, I am going to still be working on this podcast because I just remember when I felt the same, that I'm like, okay, one of us is crazy and I'm saying it's not me and y'all are saying it's me, and I be damned. Sis, you are not alone. So thank you for listening. Thank you guys for your support. You are the reason why I do this podcast, because I want us to know and believe that we are everything and anything we put our minds to, that we can take this world by storm, be it entrepreneurship, be it corporate citizenship, and just getting into corporate leadership and running the hell out of this world. Like, basically Beyonce be telling us, we run the world, y'all. So we just have to own it. And I just want to say thank you for leaving comments and reviews and your emails. Please keep it coming, because as you can see, since I started working, I can't just record in the middle of the day like I used to. So I appreciate you guys. Please go to iTunes or Apple Podcasts or whatever app you listen to, and you can rate, review. Please do that stuff. Please tell your friends. Do not keep this podcast to yourself. Tell people about this information, and I'm going to continue to work to bring you content that's actionable in real time that you can take and work on and use every week. That is my promise. I want to see us rise to the top of wherever our journey takes us. And we can do it. And I want you to have somewhere you can come every week and just have somebody tell you that you got this, because you do. All right, you guys, I love you. And let's wrap up the show. All right. So I've been ranting and raving. And what I realized, you guys, is that the reason why I'm so upset is because the part-time MBA for Black women is not setting us up for success. Many times, a lot of you guys are getting these degrees because you want to expand your career, you're ambitious, you're on it. And so you're doing everything you know to do. And these people are exploiting that because of the system. And that makes me angry. I don't like to see people cheated because of the structure and the system and basically the shit from slavery, right? I blame slavery for all this. Okay. But let's get into the third thing that you need to do to try to fix the shit. Right? Like, here's the deal. It doesn't matter where you start. It only matters that you keep striving for the end, right? For where you're going. So even though you got a part-time MBA, it doesn't mean that you can't get this 6-figure job, sis, because you can. Okay? And now, the other thing I want you to think about doing, if you're looking to switch your career, is I want you to try to get on cycle with your school's full-time recruiting program schedule, right? And I want you to just get on in there. Even if you've graduated, go to their events. If you're still living in the same city, or if you're in the same city as the full-time program, or if you can travel, like, do whatever you need to do to show up, okay? And if you are starting a part-time program, or you're considering a part-time program because I can't leave my job, I need this money, and I haven't planned in advance enough to leave my job to go full-time, and I ain't looked at the resources that will allow me to have a full fellowship like the consortium, or forte. I haven't done the due diligence, and I don't really want to have to score high on this GMAT or GRE, or I don't want to do whatever y'all come up with for these part-time programs. Look, I'm not going to knock y'all on trying to better yourself, but at least do the most to make sure that you set yourself up for success. So if you're going to go into this part-time program, at least start the program and try to structure it with the same cadence of the full-time program. So if you start your part-time program, start in the fall. Start your program in the fall. Work to finish your program within 22 months, like the full-time program, right? And yes, it's going to be hard because your Black ass wanted to still work and go to school. I don't know why, but okay. Again, I told y'all I was biased. So if you're going to do the part-time program, at least try to plug into the full-time program's opportunities, especially if you're trying to switch careers, especially if you're trying to leave your job, and especially if you are trying to get this MBA so you can make more money. Like, the saddest thing I see is somebody in a junior level role, especially you young, ambitious people. Y'all are on it. Y'all graduate from undergrad, and then 2 seconds later, y'all want to get y'all MBA. That's not how this works. But okay. Because see, somebody told you, you get your MBA, you can make 6 figures. Ooh, I want to make 6 figures. Let me go get my MBA. What's the least path of resistance to go do that? Oh, I can get into this part-time program. And now you are. And then you wondering, because you ain't had no internship. You don't know any companies coming. You don't see them. You just doing work and working your ass off, mind you. Because in the full-time programs, half of your time is spent looking for a job. In the part-time program, all your time is spent on the academics and learning the skills. The full-time program, that's the other half. So you missing half of the puzzle of getting your MBA in this part-time program. Now, how to fix it? Get on the cadence of the full-time program. Consider taking off your job for 10 to 12 weeks and going and doing an internship. And you should be able to do that because if you got on the cadence of the full-time program, you should be in the loop of everything the full-time students are doing, and you should be right there lock in step. Now, is it going to be real hard because it's going to take a lot more time? Hell yeah. But I ain't tell you to do this. But what I am telling you is if your expectation is to make 6 figures when you get out of your MBA program, you got a lot of work to do, which is why full-time programs are full-time when you think about it. So that half the time we're working on getting a new job, that's you actually doing your work because you're still working. And look, guys, I get it. Everybody's situation is unique. I ain't trying to give you no money to help you do this. So my criticism comes just from my general angst. It's not personal. You know, I love you guys. I just want you to set yourself up for success. And even though I've ranted and raved about how much I hate part-time programs, you still got an MBA, sis. Use it. Figure it out. Do not sit there and not get your coins. Okay? You must be smart. You got into the program. You must be smart. You graduated from the program while working. This means you are a beast. You just don't know what you don't know. And that's what this whole time today has been about. So, as always, if you need some help or advice about a specific situation, go to trillinba.com/coaching and schedule a 30-minute strategy call with me to help you walk through your specific work situations. Those calls are $40 because we got bills over here, y'all. We got bills. Trying to grow. Every consultation I do, the proceeds are reinvested back in the podcast to advertise and to grow awareness and to let more Black women like you know about this show and to get the help that they need. If you have a quick question or concern, you can always email me at ask@trillinba.com. Now listen, Some of y'all be emailing me some heavy questions. I have to sit and think about it. There's a couple of y'all I still haven't emailed back. It's not that I didn't get your email. It's just I'm still thinking about like, oh, that's a rough one. I might just have to tell y'all gonna have to schedule time because it'd be hard out here, y'all. But no matter what, I am here to help, okay? And I'm happy to answer your question or concern. And if I don't have the answer, I know I'm connected to somebody who does, and I will get you to the person you need to talk to. So again, that's trillinba.com/coaching to schedule a 30-minute career strategy call with me. Go ahead and block off an hour because, me. And ask at trillinba.com to submit your quick question or concern or comment. And as always, guys, please, please, please rate, review, and subscribe. Let me know you're listening to this show. So Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, Google Podcasts, all the podcast apps, we are on these internet podcast streets for you. Share with your friends. Let them know this information is out there, and I will keep working. And when I mean work, y'all, I be working. I be up late now because I be working my real job during the day. But I am excited to help you get to where you are trying to go. And I just always want you to remember, you got this. We got you, and we are all we got. So we got to have each other, right? So I'm so excited, you guys. Getting ready for a great end of the year, beginning of the new year. Make sure that during this time, you really take some time to reflect and really get intentional about what you want, okay? And until next time, keep it trill. The Trill MBA Show is a Fair World Corp. LLC production. Executive produced by Felicia and Rose Inuha. Sound design and editing by Chris Mann with Podshaper. Theme music is Kick Push by Ryan Little. Keep it trill every day, y'all.